You know, today we're fishing in pretty deep water. We're on Lake Simcoe, Ontario. We're only about an hour away from Toronto, and we're about 5 or 6 miles out on the lake. And we're specifically targeting whitefish, maybe some incidental lake trout. These fish like deep water, and they like feeding close to the bottom. And here at Lake Simcoe, there's a lot of smelts. And those are the bait fish that they're feeding close to the bottom. And I just want to show you what I've got rigged up here. I've got 2 different styles of sonars that are both portable. You can use both of them if you mount them on your boat in the summertime, and then remove them from your mount and then put them in these porta packs that you see right here. Now let me explain to you the difference between these 2 units, and they're both working excellent, by the way. The one on the right here, the 787 C2I, which actually has a card, a hydrographic chart of the lake, is showing me a picture. So if you see on the left-hand screen, I'm zoomed in. Okay, so this is my actual lure going up and down. This is my true screen here. When I say true, 0 to 83.3 feet. But where you see this little box on the bottom, that's all I see on the left. So look, this is my lure if I lift it up and down, and I've got bait fish down there. You see the bait fish? There might be a game fish in those bait fish. Watch me literally snake my jig up and down here. See it going up and down these zigzags? That's my jig. So on this screen over here, it's a sonar screen. See how it's round? The red is bottom, and this green light right here that's moving up and down, that's my actual jig. Now most anglers will use a flasher for fishing. This is referred to a flasher because it's just a flash of light. And this one is a really nice big one. It's the Ice 45. And you can see that it also has a digital readout. Look how close they are. This one says 83.2, 83.2. So this one's fluctuating a little bit. They both are, because we've got a very strong wind here on Lake Simcoe. So it's actually pushing the water up and down. Now let me show you where we are. So I've also have now a flasher screen here. Look at 2 flashers. See my lure right there? This red is the bottom. That band that's moving up and down, if you see my rod tip, is exactly how my jig is moving. And the same thing here. I'm going to go into the next window. This is where we are on Lake Simcoe. I'm zooming out. When I said that we're in the middle of Lake Simcoe, you can see this is Lake Simcoe. See that 001 mark? We are literally in the middle. I'm going to zoom in. Watch the detail on this thing. See this? It's the actual hydrographic chart of Lake Simcoe. This is Georgina Island, Tora Island's over here. The more I go in, the more detail I'll see. So you can see here, I'm confirming the depth numbers, and I can move the cursor to go right or left. So I'm going to go to where the first break is. There's the first break in about 50 feet of water, and I'll zoom out again. So if I wanted to fish right on that break, I could very easily do that. But this time of the year, the fish are out in the main basin. When you're fishing deep water like this, having a sonar, either one of these, is really advantageous, because not only will you spot fish when they come in, but you can see your lure and you can make the fish respond to the lure, and that'll help you catch more fish. Look at the way this little rod is bent. I think it's so cute. Look at that fish is tugging. Now I gotta just put my gloves off. This is where you need more hands. You get fish in that deep of water, he's coming right up. It's like a little magic wand. Look at this. You can see this is the rod that's got that little strike indicator. And the strike indicator obviously is not working now because I've got a fish on there. And I got a feeling this is a whitefish, just the way he's fighting. You know, this ice fishing thing is a real Canadian heritage. Oh, he's closer. Sometimes you'll see there'll be like cities out here. Oh, now he's head shaking right by the hole. Come on around. Look at all the air bubbles coming up. I think he got me caught on the ice age. Come on. Oh, you. Good. Got him. Oh. Come on. Okay. Yeah, see if I can get the hook out. It's like the whitefish knows where the hole is. There we go. I'm going to see if I can hold him here. Wow, what a fight from 80 feet of water. You know what? They're hard to hold on to. And I'd say this is probably, again, maybe a little bit below average. That's maybe a 2.5 to 3 pound whitefish. And they're so plentiful, but you have to come out to the deeper water. Sometimes you'll get them when you're perch fishing, you know, in water less than 40 feet deep. And I know guys that get them as shallow as like 20 to 25 feet. But to really intercept the big schools of whitefish here on Lake Simcoe, it really helps to be in that 40 to like 100 foot range. And you can see how thin they are. Look at how tapered they are. Beautiful fish, nice and bright. And even though it's cold out here, I'm telling you what, it's worth putting the time in because they fight great and they're schooling fish and they're very good eating.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you by Rapala Premium Fishing Gear, crafted from experience. Yamaha on the water. This is my Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? Dickies, a legend in work since 1922. Lucky Strike. More fish fight with a Lucky Strike.
This particular style of jig is called a Little Foxy, and this is the color that I was actually catching my fish on today. This is how you jig it, just like that. Little snaps of the wrist, which makes that little fish dart, and every once in a while I go down so it hits the bottom, lift it, twitch it, watch. Hits the bottom, I just kind of make that tail go back and forth, lift it up, twitches, hit the bottom, tail go back and forth, lift it up. It produces such a tantalizing action that fish can't resist these.